Hello and welcome to another episode of PerryPOD. This week I am joined by T38 100, 200 and 400 metre sprinter, Nike athlete, World Para Athletics European silver medalist, 22-year-old from Paisley, Ross Paterson. But before we crack on with Ross's story, I want to say a massive thank you to the Turmeric Co who sponsor PerryPOD. The Turmeric Co products are quickly becoming the gold standard for individuals who are searching for products that can positively impact their holistic health, with each ingredient selected offering extraordinary nutritional value. From the moment of launch, the Turmeric Co's primary goal was to help fulfill the lives of its customers through high quality, effective yet natural turmeric based shots. A range of proprietary blends in a shot format offers a convenient solution for people using turmeric as a regular part of their nutrition. No powders and no low quality filler ingredients such as apple juice or water. Only premium raw and absorbable turmeric root is used in every shot, with a combination of other superfood ingredients making the range an effective yet delicious option for people to support their daily health through natural nutrition. If you want to see these benefits for yourself, use code PERRY10 at checkout for 10% off. Now let's crack on with Ross's interview.
Alright.
Hey mate, how you doing?
I'm not bad, how are you?
Not too bad, thanks, not too bad. Where are you? So you've been just in the house?
Just in the house, mate. I've got Elvis behind me. We can blame my dad for that, so.
How is your dad?
He's alright, mate. It's not too bad. He's still working away. He's got a hassle with the dog now, so that's keeping him busy. He's chucked the football, so he's just kind of chilling about, and I think he is missing it a wee bit, but he may race, so it's the main thing for him.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, it's been years since we spoke to each other, isn't it?
No, I know. I remember, like, what was it? Was it 8 or 9 when I first joined West of Scotland, and then that's when I first met you as well, and then all of a sudden, like, things just took a path.
Yeah, no, because that was 14 years ago now.
That's scary, mate.
Jeez, oh, wow, you were tiny as well.
Yeah, I know I was tiny. I've kind of grown now, but like I was about that height when I was.
No, but I think that's a great way to start this off. I mean, I remember playing football with you, obviously a long time ago now, and even from a young age, everyone in the squad was well aware of your speed, but it's obviously that's now pretty much your job now, isn't it? Your job is to run fast and to hopefully leave people behind you. So when did you start pursuing that as like a goal? Obviously you played football and stuff, but when did it become the focus of sprinting?
It was, I don't know if you remember, right, the Red Star Games that we did with West of Scotland. So obviously Giants Eaglesham was involved with that with Andy Lundy. And we got asked along to go and race, and from there I loved it. My first option was to get fast for football, and then automatically I wanted to do both. So I was training for football, then going straight to athletics, or vice versa. So it was about 2017 that I had to make a decision. No one told me to, but I wanted to make a decision where it was either playing football with a team or going to do athletics and see what I could achieve there. And I was looking at both of them. I had a tough choice to make, sat with mum and dad. And it was hard, it was very hard, but I chose athletics. And then things kicked off. GB got involved. I was in the development squad. I was in the Scotland squad, and I was just competing there up in Scotland. I was competing down in England. And I thought it went really well. Like I thought I made the right choice, and athletics has kicked off for me.
You've done not bad so far in such a short career. You said you made that decision in 2017. That's sort of 3 years ago now. So you've accomplished some really great things in such a short period of time. But it's great that you said you were training for both without even knowing it. Because you just loved both, and I think that's great, especially for young athletes that are into a bit of everything, and it is great to explore those options, because I think from a very young age, whether it's able-bodied or para, you can get very narrow-minded into like one sport or one avenue for a career path, that this is what I'm going to do. Whereas actually, I think you can be a good advocate for it, is that actually go out and explore a few things and you might find something else that you absolutely love.
Yeah, 100%. And don't get me wrong, I still love football. I coach a 2008 football team that started their 11-a-side games. And I do still miss kicking a ball. Fair enough, they're better than me, but end of the day, no, it's still good to put on football boots now and then and have a wee kick about, but coaches still give me the trouble when he said I shouldn't be kicking a ball, but can't help myself doing a few keep-ups, kind of.
I know the feeling. We're not allowed to play either, but I mean, you say you love football, but you are a St Mirren fan, so I don't know how much you love football.
Mate, we got a win at the weekend. I mean, everything that's going on just now, but no, I do love St Mirren at the end of the day, and I'll back them until the day I die. So, win, lose or draw, St Mirren until I die.
I love that, and I can confirm that you've always been that way. You know, even from such a young age. So that's great to see. So let's talk a bit more about your sprinting. You know, your GB Athletics debut came in Berlin in 2018, and obviously, I mean, that's 1 year after you've made this decision that I'm going to go and put everything I have into becoming a sprinter. And you know, within the space of 12 months, you're already representing GB. So what's that like? What's going through your head? What do you remember about that experience?
I remember, obviously, at the training camp, there was talks about the European Championships, and I didn't think it was achievable for me at that stage. Obviously, it was an aim to work for. Me and my coaches sat down and thought of ways to try and get there. And obviously, before that, Scotland came in and said I had the CP Israel World Games. So I had the World Games 1 week, and then I would go back home for a couple of days, and then I would be flying out to Berlin. But on the phone call, it was actually my house phone, and my dad answered, and he ran up the stair, and I got a phone call saying that I'd been selected for Berlin, and literally I just paused, and she was like, "You still there?" And I'm like, I was shaking. I was a feeling that I can't experience it. It was just total goosebumps. And Mum was at work at this point, so after I got off the phone, I phoned her, and I think she started crying on the phone. It was just a feeling of belief, and I need to believe myself. And now that I've made it, now I need to work hard. And so the training got ramped up for the next 4 or 5 weeks. Coaches hammered me, absolutely hammered me, and then on the up and coming weeks to go to Spain, that was hard going as well. But no, it was a feeling. I was actually but when I was on the line, I was actually calmer than I was for a Livingston race.
And why do you think that is? Do you think it's because you've been given that nod? So in the back of your head, you know that there is that bigger entity, you know, of Team GB that believe in you?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was as soon as I put on the GB vest, and I think my warm-up, I had a really good warm-up. And see the glasses that I wear, they keep me in the zone. And I think the only thing was my race got delayed 40 minutes, and I thought that would have put me off. But nah, I stayed calm. I think that the way that I conducted myself for my very first debut, I thought it went really, really well. It couldn't go any better. Getting a silver medal in my debut, you can't complain with that.
And you say it was a silver medal on your debut, you know, and there's a lot of things that could have been wrong with it. But, you know, the fact that, as you mentioned, you know, it was your debut, but you composed yourself, you had belief in yourself from the preparation that yourself and the coach have put in. You've got the glasses that sort of help you stay focused on the track, as well as, you know, but also you've got a 40-minute wait. That's, as an athlete, I know that can really throw you off, you know, because you know, you're racing at this time or this time or whatever it may be, and then you get told 30-40-minute wait, sometimes up to an hour, and it can really throw you out of your rhythm, you know. So do you have any advice for someone that might be put in that position, you know, that, you know, it may not even be related to sport, someone that's going for a job interview and they get there and the boss is running late and you can get a bit nervous? What would you say to them in terms of, you know, keeping your calm and staying focused?
Honestly, I would say, don't panic. I know that's hard for anyone to say it, and I'm my own worst critic when it comes to that. But what I did was I just kept myself warm, and see, because I was in Berlin, I think the heat helped me because of my cerebral palsy. If it was in Scotland, I think I would have got cold really easily, and my muscles need to stay warm for the CP to stay in, and so you don't cramp up. And that's for any athlete as well. You need to keep yourself moving. I think that the fact that my opponents didn't speak English helped me, because they weren't trying to talk to me or anything. So I was in my own wee bubble. I think the thing I would say is, don't let yourself get you down, because when you're about to race, or if you're about to go for a job interview, if you made it to that part, you've made it halfway. So if you've got yourself into the interview, then you're partway there. All you need to do is believe in yourself and know that you can do it. You need to have the heart, you need to have the desire, you need to have the fire in your belly to say, right, I want this.
Right, no, I totally agree. And you mentioned that, the week before the championships in Berlin, you were at the World CP?
The CP World Games.
CP World Games. And so, for those that maybe don't know the difference, what is the difference between obviously a para-athletics European Championship or a Diamond League or whatever it may be to CP World Games? So,
CP World Games is you've been selected by your country. So, like a number of athletes, it's not just athletics, it's different events. It could be football, it could be swimming, it could be ping pong, it could be anything, it could be absolutely anything. So, like, you've been put in that team with people you don't know. And what happened was this was the very first time I had heats and finals. So I had 100, 200 and 400 metres, and I had classification before it. So I had two 100s, two 200s and two 400s, and a classification which it started at 1 o'clock and I didn't get away until 7 o'clock, and I had the race the next day. That was very, very tiring. And like, it was a shock to the system, because obviously I've only done one race per day, and like, it was difficult, but I managed it.
And what does a para-athletics classification look like? Because in table tennis, ours is split between like your ability to play the sport and how your disability hinders you, as well as obviously medical records and your proven disability on paper. So what does that look like? Because 6 hours is a long time to be in classification. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, there's a long waiting process. You need to hand over your passport, and you need to get all the details first. So that can take up to 45 minutes to an hour, especially if you're in a different country. Maybe if you're like back at home, it might not take that much. But I'm a T38, so that's right down the right hand side of my body. I've got hemiplegia, so they said that I'm borderline T37/38. So I think they were having a discussion to see what classification I would actually be. So the process of that was they wanted to see me run, as well as test how my reactions were, my reflexes. They wanted to like move my arm right up and right back down, and then they had a hammer and they knocked my foot to see what I would do. So I had one for football as well, but it's completely different to athletics, and I think it was a shock because the person I was with was like, "Oh, you'll only be here for 1 or 2 hours," but no, I was there for 6.
And what's the more, for want of a better phrase, what's the more severe class, a 37 or a 38? 37.
38 is like as if you're not able-bodied, but like you're able to, like, it's hard to explain, but a 37 is more like if your arm is up here, or if you're more 35. So it rates from 35 to 38, and I was borderline 37 because of my right side. So I was meant to get classified this year, but because of COVID, I'm getting classified next year.
Right, okay, so let's jump into that COVID then. How has that impacted your training and competitions?
Well, when I first found out that coronavirus was a thing, I got sent home from work. I'm a full-time early years practitioner, so I was still working full-time from home. and my training got taken away from me basically from a track sense. But the competitions that I had lined up were all cancelled, obviously, because of the virus. But one I didn't hear about until 2 weeks before was the European Championships. So my training was still hard going, basically. And because I was in this working from home environment, I couldn't cope with the 8 hours on the computer. As I'm a practitioner, I'm on the floor most of the day. I'm always moving about. I'm doing 17,000/18,000 steps a day. So I was training twice a day. Whether we go a run or do core, my training sessions were still pretty high at the moment. My coaches, I'm training with able-bodied athletes now, which is helping my training quite a lot. I've got the backing of Alistair and Ricky from Caborkin, who have done a superb job over lockdown, sending me training sessions. They've been on the phone, just keeping my motivation and my spirit levels high, giving me determination. And I wasn't going to let myself down. I wanted to keep pushing myself to the limit. And then I found out that Poland wasn't going to happen this year, but my season wasn't going to be over. So in a way, COVID has helped me maintain my training sessions because I haven't stopped. Basically, I haven't stopped since March, and I didn't know if there was talks about Poland getting moved to either November and December. So there was no way I was going to stop my training.
Yeah, brilliant. I think that's the luxury of being, a sprinter or a runner or most track and field is you can run anywhere. You can train anywhere. And as you touched on there, it's not just about the miles that you put in on the track. It's actually, you can do core stuff, you can do flexibility stuff. All these little things add up. So it's obviously great for you, the fact that you can still train, during all this, and obviously things are a bit more relaxed now. But how important is it for you to actually have access to a track, being a sprinter?
Yeah, it's very vital for me because obviously you're in spikes and that's when you do your best. Obviously, I was training on road for most of it, so I really needed the track. And when I was allowed back on the track, it was really hard on my calves, my hamstrings for the first 2 weeks because obviously the impact. Obviously, we've gone from training on road to training on a track again. So the track has been fantastic since I've been back. Obviously, I felt fitter and I felt my stamina had built up because I was doing a lot of long runs. I've been given hill training. I was given speed sessions as well, just working on me things that I could improve on to build up my right side. Being back at the track has been really good. But then obviously we had the lockdown again, and we couldn't get back on the track for a wee while. But again, I'm back in the new indoor facility, and because I'm an elite athlete, I can still train and I can still travel. So Alistair's had me in doing S&C to help build up my right side, which has been fantastic, and I can't thank him enough.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So what are the, other than obviously still being able to train and you've got certain exemptions being an elite athlete, but what's the main positives you've taken from COVID?
The main positives I've took is never give up. Obviously I've not had any competitions this year. This year would have been my biggest year since 2018, competition wise. Obviously I was gutted about it, but I wasn't going to let it get me down. I think the key to success is working until your body has no more to give. And my teammates as well, giving each other motivation and training with elite coaches as well, GB coaches. They've been keeping in contact with me as well. We've been doing GB Zoom calls, just keeping our levels high. That's what we need. I think the positive as well, when you're training, obviously when I'm training my own, it's hard. But I've been using people. See, when people are out their walks or out their runs, I've been chasing them down. Like there was a woman down the street just walking her dog, and I thought, I'm going to catch you. No bother, I'm going to catch you.
I love that. It's something that I think almost everyone has found, through all this, is that whether it's someone that you don't know and you see, I'm going to catch them on the street, and you use them for that training purpose, but it's, you touched upon it. It's that togetherness, it's calling people a little bit more often. It's been a bit more in touch, and I think that's helped everyone. As you said, you're, as a practitioner, someone that's so active, 18,000 steps a day, to then be sitting at a desk for 8 hours just isn't your lifestyle, but the fact that you've got that ability to, you can pick up the phone, go on a Zoom call with the team, and, just help each other get through it. And I think that's such a massive takeaway. But let's imagine a world where coronavirus isn't a thing. What is it? What's a regular training week look like for an elite sprinter?
So, like, if it wasn't coronavirus, I'd be training. My training would be ramped up if it was up to competition season. So my competition season would have started in April. So if I had a competition in, say, in the next 4 weeks, I would be doing more intense speed training. I would be doing block work. I would be doing 300s, 400s, 500s. And then when it gets to that week of competition, it would get calmed down. So it can vary from very intense to relaxed. It all depends on how your body is feeling as well. Well, right now, I'm training a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, a Thursday. And I'm doing core stuff on a Wednesday and core stuff on a Friday. I only see my coaches on the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, but those days are given to do your own thing, but they still send a session if you've missed one or whatever. I get a Saturday off to watch the mum. I wish I was training.
No, I think it's good that you've mentioned that, is that it's having that active rest, even when you're not necessarily training, it's still keeping busy and making sure that you're ticking over and not just, sitting on the couch, playing a bit of Call of Duty or something like that. You're still ticking over, you're still putting in a bit of work, and I think that's great, but I also want to talk highs and lows. So what's been the toughest race for you? And that doesn't necessarily have to be worst result, but in terms of just, it could have been one of those trips where everything was going wrong from the moment you turned up at Glasgow Airport. What's been the toughest experience you had?
CP World Games 400 metre final. So the story about this race, was things have been going wrong beforehand. I think everything was going well up to a certain point where my warm-up was good. I felt good, but this was my final race of the trip, and it was it was the hottest day. It was the last race of the day, 400 metres. About to get ready, do my final preps, go to put on my vest. It's not there. My vest is not there. And I panicked. I was at my breaking point. I had 5 minutes to call. My coach John was running around trying to see if there was anyone, because I remember putting it in my bag and I think someone stole it. That's my point of view. I think someone stole it, and I'm not being bitter or anything. I think because there was something sketchy going on, because beforehand someone pulled the plug for the juices on the hottest day. So, and then someone's bike got stolen from the Scotland team as well. So I think someone stole my vest in the 400 metre final. So I had to wear a girl's vest.
I'm sure that suited you.
It was so tight, mate. It was the smallest thing ever. But yeah, I was just lucky that a Scottish guy was behind the desk, managed to print off a new number for me at the very last minute before call, because it was the final call at this point, and I remember just sitting down, hand in my face, and my dad just grabbed me and just said, "Buck up your ideas. We've got you a vest. You go and run your heart out and show them what they're missing." I like Who Wants It More, and there's a video of my dad shouting "Who Wants It More" in the race at the end. I got a bronze medal in that race. I was so close to silver, but I was up against a Canadian and a Spanish guy who was 9 years older than me. I was up against 2 Americans who was neck and neck. So from that breaking point to that, I think that was the toughest memory I've had of a race. Just especially because I thought everything was going so well, and then all of a sudden it was my best. Because mom and like the Scottish team had like a wee fan base set up in the corner, and usually I leave my bag with her and all that, and I leave my vest over the chair. And that's what I did the past 2 days, and then the third one, it's not there. And I checked my hotel room when I went home as well. I wasn't there. So probably lying in Spain somewhere.
in someone's wardrobe, I know it is something that at a lot of sports, for whatever reason, a GB vest or shirt or any sort of GB sporting kit tends to be in high demand. And it's something that we get asked at a lot of tournaments as well. Is can you swap GB shirts? And we're just not allowed to do it. We're not allowed to do it, and they are in high demand. So I'm not pointing fingers and naming names, but maybe you're right. Maybe someone did pinch it. But the fact that you turned that around, you, as you said, you were at your breaking point, and your dad's grabbed you by the scruff of your neck and been like, "Come on, you can do this," and you did. You went and got a bronze medal. So that shows the grit and determination. The resilience that's there. That you need as an athlete, because a lot of people think as an elite athlete everything goes your way, and it's almost never the case, is it?
No, it's not. It's not at all. At the end of the day, you've got the backing of your team, your friends, and your family. Mom, Dad have been to every away trip with me for athletics, and honestly, I can't thank them enough. Honestly, I slate them sometimes, but at the end of the day, they love me, and my friends as well. At the time, obviously, I switch off my phone, don't say anything. They wish me good luck and everything, and they say, "You've got this, mate. You've got it." And then at the end, I give them a message, and they see my Facebook post, and congratulations. They give me a phone call. Recently, my girlfriend Sophie as well. She's been backing me obviously last year, and then obviously I was gutted about the European Championships, but as she said, we just need to work for it for next year, and hopefully see what happens.
Right, I mean that support, around you as an athlete is so vital. But we've spoken about the lows, the toughest race. What's been your best memory and the most fantastic race you've ever had?
It's got to be European Championships. Making my debut for GB, I can't be any prouder, and I'll never forget the feeling of getting that GB vest sent to my house and putting on the name. It's just goosebumps. It is absolutely goosebumps, and hopefully I can put on that GB vest again and make my family proud.
I know for a fact you already make them proud, and you pull on that GB vest, and if you sit back just a little bit, there's a little emblem that's just up there in the corner, and it's that Nike tick, and
yes,
you guys in athletics get the best of gear, and what does it mean to you being a Nike athlete?
Well, in the past, when I got my GB kit, Nike sent me a drop kit for being part of the Futures Plus team. That's when I got into the Futures Plus. So I can't thank them enough for what they did and what they sent to me, because it helped me massively for training. I got gloves, tracksuits, a lot warm gear. That's what CP athletes have been wanting for ages. Absolute warm gear. Seeing the weather like this, the warm trousers, the jumpers. I can't thank Nike enough for what they do. And it's just fantastic. It means everything. I can't thank them enough. And I also can't thank, I will mention my sponsors. I can't thank SportsAid enough for what they do for me, allowing me to travel to competitions and allowing me to buy spikes and what I need equipment wise. And I also can't thank GBC and Paisley Physiotherapy, because they've been fantastic, helping me get race ready for competitions. They've been giving me great massages. Stephen, I know you're going to watch this, so thank you.
As someone that's been involved with sports aid and of course Paisley Physiotherapy myself, you're totally right. The support that they guys give is you can't buy it. It's just unprecedented, the amount of support and hard work that goes into trying to produce top athletes for the Olympic and Paralympic Games, and to have that local support, both being Paisley boys ourselves, to have that support at the physiotherapy centre is it's such a blessing that we've got, But you mentioned the Paralympic Futures Programme, and your face kind of lit up a wee bit there. So I know that means an awful lot to you. Can you tell the listeners what the Paralympic Futures Programme is?
Yeah, first of all, I would just like to say that I have been selected again for this year, and thank you very much for. Thank you. I appreciate them believing in me, and I can't wait for what next year comes to, if it does. So, like competition-wise. So yeah, the Future Plus squad is the one below the I've lost the wording for it.
Your thing.
Sorry, I've lost the wording for it, but it's the one before the. Sorry, Mark, I've actually lost it. It's the one before you get sponsored. Yeah, it's the one before you get sponsored. So I'm in the Future Plus squad just now, and then if I move up to the next squad, that's when it becomes your full-time job. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. So the Future Plus squad allows you to compete at high levels. So if I was meant to be going to Italy this year to qualify, that would have been a qualifier for the European Championships. You need to do 2 qualifiers. So one would have been in Manchester and one would have been in Italy. And if I got the standard time for the 400 metres, I would have potentially qualified for the European Championships. So European Championships would have happened in Poland this year, but unfortunately it didn't. And then Italy would have been my qualifier, and in Manchester as well. So the Futures Plus is very beneficial because you've got very high GB coaches in there. You've got psychology. You learn how to cook. Still can't cook, but I don't know.
At least you're honest.
I'm honest. I have tried. I have tried cooking, but I'm not the best at it. But and you learn about lifestyle as well, and being away with the team, and just gelling as a team. Like it's good. Seeing what other internationals there as well. We've got England, Northern Ireland, and Wales. So we've kind of created a good bond, and obviously went to Italy the year before. So I mean, it was good team bonding, and obviously everyone was supporting each other and pulling on the GB vest again. I wore my Scotland vest when I went to Italy, because Scotland gave me Scotland kit, so I thought I would wear it. Thanks to Sports Scotland for that. So yeah, just it's a great opportunity, and I can't miss it.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And so, as you said, it's a step down. It's not a step down, but it's a level down from the elite funding program. Where athletes would put on APAs and as you put it in a way sponsored, but it's where you would put on an APA, an athlete performance award, to go on and excel. And it's something that you're striving towards. But what are the goals and aspirations for yourself moving forward?
Well, number one on the list is European Championships for next year. And then I would love to get to the Commonwealth Games for the 100 metres. I've been getting emails recently about it, about there's a T37/38 race in the Commonwealth Games. So that is my aim, to get into that race, because that would be some achievement. I've raced at Birmingham before in the Diamond League, so I know the track. I had a crowd there before. Don't know what the atmosphere will be like this time because there'll be different countries there. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a hard-working year, and I've spoke to my coaches about changing my plans for training and how to build up that short, sharp speed. And my biggest goal is 2024 Paralympics in Paris. That would be some dream. That is the goal. Get mum and dad a wee holiday as well into the bargain.
A wee holiday? It's only down the road.
That's only down the road. That's it. We've got some park. That's Paris, isn't it?
So in terms of qualification, whether it be for European Championships or Commonwealth Games or a Paralympic Games, hopefully sometime in the future, does it work in terms of medals or does it work in terms of speed? In terms of like there's a time, if you hit that time, you're going. Because I myself and a lot of the listeners won't know how the qualification for athletics works.
Yeah, so it's qualifying times that you need. You need to hit the qualifying time. Obviously, the standards I've not been told what standards are because obviously no one's competed this year. So I guess it's just a guessing game for everyone, and we've just to go out and see what times we can get. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll be doing as many open graded as able-bodied races that I've been doing for quite some time now, because I think chasing someone who's able-bodied is better for me than going to disability events, because no disrespect to anyone, I think just going to the able-bodied races just helps push me that wee bit further. If someone's really fast, then it doesn't matter if I come first in that race. It's not medals, it's just for a good time, and that's what I need. So I've done quite a lot of them, and no one wants to get beat off a disabled guy, so it's good banner.
And I love that. You said no one wants to get beat off the disabled guy. I mean, you can imagine the look on people's faces when they lose to the guy with no hands at a game of table tennis. So I know exactly what you mean when you say that. But is there much cohesion between para-athletics and able-bodied? I know you yourself train with able-bodied competitors, but is that something that's the norm, or are you a bit of a maverick in doing that sort of training?
At the end of the day, I don't want to be treated any different. Coming into that group, obviously I was nervous at first. Obviously, training with able-bodied guys are going to be a lot faster than me. That's what I wanted. I want people who's faster than me to push me on. I'm training with a great guy just now, a 400-metre runner who's 17 years old, and he's running 8 seconds, maybe 9 seconds faster than me. So for the 400, that's what I need. And I can see him going a long way as well. And I can see him pulling on a GB vest. And my coaches, Alistair and Ricky, they just treat me like anyone. They give me slagging, which I like. They slag me about my team. We've also got some fan in there as well. But again, we get good banter off the guys, and we've got older guys in there as well with more experience that will give me tips with. And they've asked me questions about GB as well, and I've asked them competitions what's it like for them and how do they deal with the pressure, or how do they cope with it, and we just exchange notes. But when it comes to a race day, I say to them, I'm not going to talk to you, by the way. I'll talk to you after the race. But they understand that everyone's got their own routine. But I wouldn't say there's any difference. I would say that able-bodied competitions run smoothly, whereas disability competitions can be held back or whatever. So if I've got a race at 10:15, that'll get pushed back to 45 minutes because they're already getting a coffee or whatever. But no, and some disability events are hand timed, whereas I like when it's electronic timing, so you can see the time and it's an accurate time, because it will be good for qualifying times. I really need good racing conditions.
Yeah, of course. And you spoke about, your routine as the phone's off, it's put away to the side. The only thing you're thinking about when you're at trackside is running as fast as you can. Is that something that you you do quite meticulously? You know, are you a very habitual person when it comes to training? Are you a bit of a Rafa Nadal? You know, things have got to be placed in the right position, and you know, things have to go in the kit bag in a certain order, or are you a bit more relaxed, or be somewhere in between?
Well, I've got to be honest with you, mate. My mum's logistics. She sorts out my bag and everything, so I'm not a Scooby-Doo what she does for the bag. So at the end of the day, I just put my spikes on. But I do have long socks, and then I have one arm long sleeve on my right side, just to help remember it's there, so it's tight. So I remember my right arm's there when I'm running. And then obviously the shades. If I don't have the shades, I'm lost. But that's why the shades are always on it. Whether it's raining, whether it's really sunny, or see if it's snowing, I'm still racing it. I'm still racing with the shades on. I'm like, that's my ritual. I need to wear the shades when I race because it just gets me in that zone. Whereas, right, I'm talking to no one. I'm blocking everyone out. There was one point where I was sitting in the call room and the guy was trying to speak to me, asking me what times I did. And I just blanked him and he was like, mate. And I'm like, I'm not talking to you, mate. Nothing's going on.
You see that in all sports, and I think the main thing to remember is, you know, on game day or race day or whatever it may be, don't take anything personally. You know, you've just got to do exactly what you do to get the best performance you can. You know, but Ross, you've been absolutely fantastic, mate. It's been great chatting to you again. You know, it's been a few years now since we've done this. And you know, it'd be great hopefully to see you in Birmingham. That'd be class if we could both represent Team Scotland, and then hopefully we can share some croissants together in Paris in a couple of years' time. That'd be the dream, man.
Yeah, definitely. I'll paint a picture of Paris, that's it. I'd love it, mate. Absolutely love it. No, it's been a pleasure, and thank you very much for having me on as well. It's a great podcast, and I'll be sharing it all about. I've told my work about it as well. So Margaret Sturston and Johnson, that's kind of work just now, so shout out to them.
You're good for a shout out. I absolutely love it. Ross, thanks very much, mate. You've been brilliant.
Brilliant, mate. Thank you very much. We'll see you later.
Cheers. Sweet you later.